I'm with Mark Kennedy, League City manager. Frustration, disappointment?
Disappointing we didn't get something. I thought we deserved it, particularly on a second half performance. So that's frustrating, especially with the opportunity at the end. Of all the people you wanted to fall to is Danny, and he's just slightly pulled it wide. And that's unlucky. I thought Danny was outstanding today and looked a real top player, and it was just unlucky. Especially with it being the last kick of the game, so that was disappointing. I thought second half the lads came out, and had a real good go, and scored a very good goal, and was unlucky maybe not to get something out of the game.
I've got to talk about the first half. I saw you have a conflab with the backroom staff after about half an hour. Did you think about changing the shape at that point?
No, not at all. I was really happy with the first half in terms of how we looked structurally. I thought we were excellent. For 30 minutes I thought we were fully in control of the game, had a lot of final third entries, really good crossing areas, crossing positions, made them defend hard. Danny Mandrew with 3 really good shots on goal, which were great blocks from them. I thought if we'd have got one of them away. The problem we had was, my biggest concern, I said to Danny, we've got to get to half time, because the problem we had was their 2-10s were playing really high and Max and Lass were too deep, and Max and Lass were playing against them, and our 2 centre halves were doing nothing, and I really wanted our centre halves to take control of that. And from that they picked up quite a few second balls, and that's where the goals came through the middle of the park, which were normally very good. We want everybody to play outside and defend crosses, because we're very good at that when crosses come in the box. So my concern with that conversation was, we were trying hard to fix it on the side, was to make between the 4 of them, ultimately it's our outside centre half, to take ownership and let the 2-10s be passed on to them and push Lass and Max another 10 yards higher up the pitch. And in the end it cost us.
Yeah, it just looked like Max and Lass, I wouldn't say looked lost in midfield, that's probably a bit harsh, but they didn't have people to play up against, and they just looked like they got stretched all across the park.
Yeah, but they're not kids, they have to take ownership of that. And I said to them at half time, I know what I'd tell our 2 centre halves if they were dragging me back there, and I couldn't repeat it. You have to take ownership of that. It was just the great lads. They are young, but they're experienced. Between the 4 of them, you have to own that. And a great example, when we played Ipswich at Portman Road, I can't remember who our left-sided centre-half was, but I remember between the left-sided centre-half and Max, they dealt with Chaplin unbelievably, where in certain areas Max picks them up, in other areas the left-sided centre-half picked them up, but today we didn't do that at all. But I actually thought in the first half we caused them loads of problems, and it's as good as I've seen us start the game.
Yeah, in terms of the second half, like you say, a little bit frustrating and unlucky that you didn't get the equaliser. To change his shape, you changed it 2 or 3 times. Were you just trying to get Danny Mandrew in his central areas to impact in the game?
Yeah, so we changed the shape at half time, we went 5-3-2 with a 10, 2 up top. That was, and then obviously even the last 5 minutes we knew there'd be a lot of extra time. I'm quite against having 3 and 4 shapes in the game, because you're almost saying 2 things, and this wasn't today. Either you don't know what you're doing, or you're not giving what you're doing an opportunity to make it work. The final change was just to go for it, and we said, look, if we're going to lose, we'd rather lose 3 or 4-1 than the game peter out. And I say that carefully, because I don't want us to have a goal difference that is minus. Really negative. So the second half was a difficult one for me in terms of it became a wave game. You attack, we attack. I don't want that, because I think if we had that vision or mentality, I think you'll come unstuck, especially when you look at their front 3. But we were 2-0 down. We had to change something. We had to go for it. And I think you see by the reaction from the fans after the game that we certainly had a real good go in the second half. But we took a gamble. We're 2-0 down. We've got to go chasing the game, and that's what we did. And credit to the lads, because in the end I thought they deserved something.
Yeah, going on to Tuesday now, probably a biggish game, quarter-final of a cup competition. Will you have players back for that? I mean, obviously we've got Ben House and Sean Rowan. Do you know any more about their injuries?
Sorry, apologies to answer you, we'll have to wait till Monday, because they're big players for us. They've had a great season. They're both in really good form, so we'll know more about that on Monday. Bitterly disappointing to lose them today, but the flip side of that, I thought Jovan, when he came on, was excellent and looked a real threat for such a young lad. He's had quite a fractured loan through no fault of his own, but I thought he'd done exceptional when he came on, to credit to himself. But more than anything, yeah, we would like some players back. We were a little bit bare on the bench today through nobody's fault, just one of those things where Adam was suspended. From the last game, Adam was suspended, Matty got injured, and we've lost 4 players from the last game. That's quite a unique thing to happen, and hopefully that won't happen again.
Word for Harry Boyes, how do you think he did?
I thought he was excellent, really, really pleased. I've known Harry for a long time. We've got good eyes on him. He's not going to come up against a better winger than Raksaki in our league, or Blackett-Taylor. I think they're both really good, but he'll come up against really good ones. That will test him, and I thought technically on the ball, I thought he defended really well. I thought it was a really, really good debut, and it was great for me because when you bring players in, he's had so limited time training with the guys, but I thought he looked like a good player today.
And a final question for me, I'm going to have to ask it. Players comings and goings over the next probably 48 hours. Is there anything before Michael will ask you the same question, I'm sure, at the press conference on Monday? 48
hours, I doubt, but I just can't emphasise how much the conversations we have, they're constant. I mean, even this morning, they're constant, they're ongoing, and it's not for a lack of trying. It's a really difficult, for people that don't know, and I'm new to it, it's a notoriously poor window to get players in. We're working really, really hard on it. Will somebody be in before Accrington? I doubt it, but we are absolutely trying our socks off.